Good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Yay, yay, yay. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope your week has been good so far. Hope you're doing well so far. Hope health and strength is great with you. No matter what, we have health and strength. Without God in the midst, where would we be? We have to give God first and the glory and the thanks and the praises. And then we need to give ourselves some grace, self-love, self-worth, self-care, always. Okay, guys. Almost the beginning of a new week. Sunday, Sunday, fun day, fun day, Sunday, Sunday, Monday, Monday. Almost, rather. Now, people, I came to unpack as always. I've been missing off the channel for a while, just giving you guys a bits and pieces now and then and stuff like that. It's a lot to come on the channel and sit for an hour to give you guys content. But like I said, a lot of times you guys don't want these kind of content. You guys usually want some other things that are happening, right? So I decided I'm going to come on. Good morning, Joshua. I decided I'm going to come on and speak about this content, rather. Yes. So I came and speak to you guys in regards in the past about Robert Miller. And I said to you guys, this is a 77-year-old man, a little bit shy of 77. He was charged, he's a billionaire. He was charged with sex crimes way back when. They waited so long for him to go to trial. And when he went to trial, he was unfit to go to trial because he's sick. Remember? Sick Parkinson disease. Remember that case that I came and spoke about and said too rich, too sick to stand trial after so many sex trafficking charges and sex assault charges? Well, I guess if you can't catch Quacky, you catch his shirt. I guess if you can't catch the sick man, then you catch his associate. And I guess if you can't catch his him, then you nail his friend to the coffin. Yes? So we came with the big bad great news. Also, in my other content the other day, I let you guys know that the mushroom trial is over and the lady was found guilty of killing her in-laws. Remember that story? Well, on breaking news, she has found guilty. Spoke to you guys a couple days ago about it. Hopefully you guys got that memo, right? Anyways, people, not staying long, let's unpack. So once you guys saw that man on my screen, try to get a hold of you guys self and sit still, drink some coffee, drink some tea, brace yourself for this whole content anyway. So like I said, I am going to read from the best of my ability, okay? And I am going to carry on. The news that has the, actually the order is this, is French. So I would have to translate for you guys what transpired in the whole thing. So maybe I will possibly play that as well. But because, you know, it's Quebec business, a lot of time these things don't make it on the news. But like I said, Diddy 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 is on the news every day. And everybody's shouting Diddy Diddy Diddy. But when it comes to this big bad millionaire and his billionaire and his friend, nobody really came and spoke about this content, right? So let me unpack. Associate of Montreal billionaire arrested and charged with multiple sex crime. Did you hear me? Associate of Montreal billionaire arrested and charged with multiple sex crime. All right. Raymond Pullett allegedly helped recruit young girls for Robert Miller. Remember Robert Miller, the billionaire who is too sick to stand trial? Remember? He needs medication. He needs a nurse 24/7. He needs medication every hour. He's bedridden. All of those things, all of those medical ish and ash that the lawyer got in to keep that rich man out of trial. Yes, indeed. So let's unpack, okay? Montreal police have arrested a man who allegedly assisted billionaire Robert Miller by organizing a network to sexually exploit young women and girls. Raymond Pullett, 76, facing 10 charges, including sex assault, sexual touching, and compelling someone into prostitution. The crimes alleged to have been carried out against the victims, including someone younger than 11, and various periods between 1995 and 2001. And they're just locking up that pervert now. Why? Billionaire friend. Privilege, as we should shout. Police arrest comes a month after criminal proceedings were halted against Miller, who in the final stages of Parkinson's disease was deemed too sick to stand trial. So what did I say? If you can't catch Quark, you catch him shirt. If you can't catch individual, you catch his friend. Oh no. After the proceeding against the billionaire were halted, several alleged victims questioned the fates of Miller's associate, who they believe had helped orchestrate his alleged crimes. Miller was facing 24 counts of sex crimes, the majority involving, majority involving minors, people younger than 14, remember. Okay, so majority involving minors committed between 1994 and 2016. So why did they wait till 2025 to deal with Miller? I know Miller had Parkinson's disease, can't go to trial. Why did they wait so long, people? Was he too rich and famous? Was he too rich and privileged? I am not sure, okay? The businessman who made his fortune by funding the electronics company, Future Electronics, has always denied the charges against him. He had pleaded not guilty. According to a woman who spoke to Radios Canada, Equette Miller spent more than 10 years recruiting young girls for sexual purposes and sexual purposes, okay? Several of the women interviewed by Radio Canada claimed that their meetings with Miller had been arranged by Miller's employees, including Paulette, who sometimes used Sebastian. Oh no. The woman claimed Paulette recruited them, sometimes demanding a share of money. Miller paid them for meetings. Others went further, saying that the matchmaker assaulted them, claiming he had to test them before sending them to Miller. So not only that he recruited these young girls, he also assaulted them before they go to Miller, because he said he has to get his cut. Or he said rather that he has to see if they're okay, as he has to test them before sending them to Miller. So they both basically sexual assault those young ones, all right? On LinkedIn, Paulette presented himself as a Miller's private consultant and a Future Electronics. However, a receptionist contacted by Radio Canada in 2023 indicated that he was not listed in the employee directory. Okay, people? So this man was only out here, basically, as a rapist and all of those kind of things they claim. Okay? So if you guys want to know who's Robert Miller, the billionaire, I'm going to give you guys a backstory. I did the story already on Robert Miller and all of that backstory already. So I'm going to give you this part in French, and then I'm going to give you back the backstory of Robert Miller. Okay? Quick and fast. So French. And 1 second.
Nouvelle de dernière heure. Raymond Poulette, fils du milliardaire montréalais Robert Miller, a été arrêté hier soir. Pascal Robida est avec moi en studio pour en parler. Bonjour Pascal.
Bonjour Daniel.
De quoi est-il accusé exactement?
10 chefs d'accusation qui pèsent maintenant contre lui pour contact sexuel et incitation à des contacts sexuels. Pour dire que l'implication dans le procès de Robert Miller, de Raymond Poulet, c'était en quelque sorte l'entremetteur, celui qui trouvait les filles d'âge mineur pour les amener finalement à Robert Miller. Ce sont les allégations, du moins dans la preuve policière. Ce qu'on apprend, c'est qu'il a été arrêté hier soir. Ça signifie que c'est un mandat d'arrestation visé qui a été déposé contre lui. Les policiers l'ont rencontré et aussitôt, on lui a fait signer une promesse avec une date pour comparaître ultérieurement. Il a donc été libéré dans l'attente des procédures judiciaires. Ce qu'on nous dit du côté de la Direction des poursuites criminelles et pénales, on saura cette date lorsque les policiers déposeront leur dossier au greffe criminel et ça sera inscrit au rôle pour la date que les policiers ont choisie, qui sera prévue donc
right there, his friend. That's the man.
dans les prochaines semaines.
That's
on
his
devrait
friend.
savoir
That's the one who can't
le
come to
moment de sa
trial, guys.
comparution. Exactement.
Quelle sera la suite, la procédure de cette affaire?
Il faut dire que dans le procès principal, celui de Robert...
So let me translate. Basically, like he's saying, this man was a recruiter for Robert Miller. Robert Miller cannot stand trial because he has Parkinson's disease, sick like hell allegedly. So he can't come to trial. After the trial and the case was stayed, but no conviction, no trial, literally, they came for his friend 1 month later after the charges was stayed, but Miller couldn't come to court. Okay, guys? So basically, that's how they sum up that story in French, all right? Not only that, guys, also, guys, I want to give you guys a backstory of Miller, and I'm going to give you guys a backstory of Miller, all right? And then you guys could go from there, right? Okay? So let's go to the backstory of what transpired in the past, okay? All right, just a second. So he couldn't fit to stand trial. Listen.
Robert Miller is charged with 21 counts of sexually abusing 10 minors over a 12-year period. But the former owner of Pointe-Claire's Future Electronics has advanced Parkinson's disease.
What did I say?
Today, the prosecution took the unusual step of requesting an evaluation to see if Miller is fit to stand trial in a criminal case.
What we discussed today in court is whether the Crown will ask for an evaluation under Section 672(11)(a), which is to make sure an accused is fit to stand trial from a mental disorder perspective.
The Crown says it would call an expert on Parkinson's to testify to see if Miller could indeed be unfit to stand trial.
And eventually a judge will decide whether that's a good idea or not.
The issue is important because the earliest the trial could be held would be in 2027, 2 years from now, and it's a trial that is expected to take several months. The defense is certain Miller is too sick to appear in court, let alone face trial. It plans to file a motion to have the case dismissed on May 7th. In January, a judge also authorized a class action suit on behalf of 51 women who all claim they were sexually abused by Miller while they were minors. But that class action lawsuit could be delayed as Miller was just granted permission today to appeal the authorization of the lawsuit. Stéphane Giroux, CD.
So now you guys heard. So in the past, they wanted to get an evaluation if he could have stand trial. Okay? They got that evaluation. All right? They got that valuation, and right now he is not fit. Okay? He is not fit to stand court. All right? He was not fit to stand trial, guys. All right? So Robert Miller, okay, not fit to stand trial. All right? So that happened. Okay? And all of that. All right? So we want to get in there. So he's unfit. So they declared that he was unfit to stand trial. Okay? Listen for yourself.
Robert Miller, the Montreal billionaire facing multiple sex crime allegations, has been deemed unfit to stand trial due to severe health issues. Quebec Superior Court Justice Line Dacary announced the ruling on Tuesday, stating that Miller suffers from advanced Parkinson's disease, as well as heart and respiratory complications. Chief Prosecutor Dominique Potvin confirmed that Miller is bedridden, incontinent, requires periodic oxygen, and struggles with communication. Potvin emphasized that transporting Miller to the courthouse for trial proceedings would be impossible, and continuing the process would not serve the interests of justice. Miller was facing 24 charges involving 11 women, many of whom were minors at the time of the alleged offenses, which took place between 1994 and 2016. He was first charged with sex crimes in the spring.
So why did they wait so long? And then the trial wasn't going to start until 2027. When did this occur? 1994 and so on. So you see, when you're a billionaire, how you could delay the criminal system. When you're a billionaire, you see how you could get away with 24 sex trafficking and sex charges. Seriously? So what happened? Because he was unfit and deemed unfit for trial, they nailed his friend, who I'm talking about now, Raymond Paulette. So let's see if he is going to be fit for trial, and let's see how long Raymond Paulette is going to be on trial and when trial is going to start. Let's see if they're going to drag out the billionaire friend associated with this sex crime as well. So let's continue to unpack.
Of 2024, following a lengthy investigation that began in 2009. Despite the stay of proceedings, Potvin reassured victims that their courage in reporting such crimes is vital, noting that legal action remains possible regardless of time elapsed.
Yep.
Miller's defense team and the Crown had both recommended the stay due to his exceptional health circumstances.
I told you.
While Miller has denied the allegations and pleaded not guilty, he is also facing 2 civil, including a class action involving over 50 plaintiffs,
See?
which is proceeding separately from the criminal case. Lawyer Jeff Orenstein, representing...
Okay. So if over 50 women is coming forward with the lawsuit, then it tells you that it's over more than 11 young girls that he molested and did whatever he did with. All right? Seriously. Okay? So he's too sick to go to trial. Yada, yada, yada. All of those kind of things. Too sick to go to trial, right? Also there's supposed to be a lawsuit somewhere. You know, the lawsuit of the woman, Robert Miller, he's trying to fight the lawsuit as well. You know, and all of that when it comes to these victims and stuff like that, right? So Robert Miller lawsuit in regards of you know, these women, okay? Action lawsuit. Remember, he's not fit to stand trial. Okay, so right now they nab his friend, like I said to you guys, nab his friend, and right now his friend is going to be spending that time. Okay, so basically it's a dozen of women accused of exploiting them and stuff like that. Okay, guys, and like I said, there is a big lawsuit. He cannot stand any trial, but now they nail his friend to the charges. Okay, it's over so many women, and he's sick to stand trial. So now the courthouse says, you know what, you're going down. Your friend is basically going to be going down, and right now the friend is going down for this whole situation and whole chaotic story of all of that. Okay, Robert Miller victim. Let's see if we could get one of these people to come and talk. It's been a long case, people. It's been a long, drawn-out case for the longest time, right? And all of that, right? Let's get to see what the police had to say about this, okay? Give me a second.
Heat up. Crown prosecutors and the Montreal police.
Okay, listen, guys.
And this
start over here.
The alleged offenses are reported to have taken.
Okay. I wanted to take out some other commercials, so sorry, guys.
Robert Miller. It's 21 different charges that were authorized by the Crown prosecutor.
Okay. So there was 21 charges authorized by the prosecutor. So this billionaire been out here for the longest time. From 1994, sexual assaulting minors. From 1994 to 2016. Nothing came out of that case. Over 100 women having a lawsuit right now. And over 20-something charges, people. "28 women claim that Robert Miller paid them for sex," guys. Right here. 1 second. 28 women say Robert Miller paid them for sex and they were minors. This is a billionaire, you know, people. Not a millionaire, a billionaire. French billionaire. Okay, guys? See it there, you know. This occurred from 1992 to 2012. Total of 29 women end up with 20 charges. But the bastard is too sick to stand trial. Did you hear me? The bastard is too sick to stand trial. So they nab his friend that I have on my screen right there. So I had to come with breaking news because I spoke to you guys about this content already. So when there's involvement, more involving story, and more involvement, I am going to come and break the news and say, guys, remember the Robert Miller story? Remember Robert Miller, who get caught up in the sex crimes and all of that? Remember, he cannot stand trial. But remember, you know, people, like I said, exploiting minors, you know, people, not me say, you know, exploiting minors. Let me take the screen off. Exploiting minors. Okay? Minors. Okay? Now they're big old men trying to sue and lock up this man for so long. One of them was so young as in 10 years old. Billionaire. Billionaire, guys. Billionaire. All right? So I had to come and shout and say, guys, remember this content that I did? Remember this content? Now they locked up his friend, the billionaire friend. You understand? Now they lock up the friend and they charge the friend. And now I am going to see now, okay? Right? This is the friend that is locked up now. This was the man that was recruiting all kind of young girls for the billionaire. This is the pervert right here. And they claim he said he had to test them before they send them on. So therefore he sexual assault them too as well. This is the associate of the big billionaire. And right now he get caught up in the sex crime as right now. Okay? So are they too privileged? Were they too privileged to know that they never lock up both of them at the same time? They end up locking up one. Let the case stay from 1994 to 2016 to now 2025. If that man was fit to stand trial, the case wouldn't be happening until 2027. So let that sit with me for a second. You do a sex crime from 1994, 2016. You're being investigated. Nothing happened out of the case. They bust your radio, your electronic warehouse. Nothing came out of the case. They wait till you're all and gray, all and quail, and fragile. 2025, his doctor came up and said, man too sick to come to court. Man has Parkinson's disease. Man had 24-hour care. Man is bedridden. Man is bedridden. And I have to say written because the lawyer did all of that. But ridden medically can't come to court. So what did they do, folks? They lock up his friend right here and said, associate, you're going down for the crime. So my thing is, why did they wait so long to lock up this one? Why never lock him up at the same time with that man? And you know the reason why they lock him up? Because after the man is deemed unfit to come to court, the victims were whispering and saying, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right down here, guys. What's going on? Was he not organizing? Was he not exploiting young girls? Hey, police. Wasn't he not having us like prostitution? Wasn't he not have them younger than 14? Wasn't he not recruiting these young girls and orchestrating these kind of crime? Wasn't he not helping himself with all of these things? Okay? So according to the woman who spoke to Radio Canada, Miller spent more than 10 years recruiting young girls for sexual purposes. All right? So you didn't hear about the story? Well, you heard about this story first. Big bad billionaire friend get caught up in the sex scandal and the sex charges. Okay? So the way how I see people, these people are too privileged and they should be locked up a long time and dealt with the court a long time ago. But when you're privileged, what can I say? Okay, guys? So I want to give you guys a little bit more of the backstory of Mr. Miller, or, well, shouldn't even call him Miller, Mr. Miller, but basically the rapist, the rapist, okay? So Robert Miller, one second, victim interview. I want to get to that. And you guys want to hear for yourself how this man was a pervert. All right, let's see if I could find it. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's get to the Fifth Estate. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna mute you guys for a second.
Coarse language and graphics.
He's a reclusive Montreal billionaire. This private investigator was hired to tail.
Every night, there were females going in and out of the place.
Listen.
Tonight, the disturbing story unfolds.
The expression is, he was grooming us.
Listen.
What went on behind closed doors from the people who were there.
Listen.
How old were the girls who'd bring him?
Listen.
15.
You're there?
16. Was that part of the request? He would have liked to have someone my age or younger.
You're there? Listen.
Who told you that? Bob?
And what we've learned about the attempts to keep all this secret.
They said, look, we'll make you an offer. We'll give you $300,000.
See?
Stop doing the investigation and give us what you got. One of his security.
So he almost trying to bribe the private investigator. And he should have go down in bribery too. But only person go down in bribery, they want to lock up is Diddy. So the billionaire trying to bribe the private investigator $300,000. And that never came out in the news. You hardly see this part in the news. I had to come and break the news to you guys. Because like I told you, not every country broadcasts their nastiness. Especially if they're privileged and they're white billionaires. Their story don't make it out here. So I had to come and shout. Victims on top of victims on top of victims. But the uncivilized mutt is too sick to come to court. Okay, guys? Let's unpack.
Security people had said to me, I don't know what the big deal is. So he had a bunch of hookers in his room. Hookers? What the hell are you talking about? These are kids.
See?
While you wait, can I offer you a snack?
Commercial, 1 second. There you go.
I'm Mark Kelly. It can take years for survivors to have the courage to break their silence. Imagine trying to do that when your abuser is one of the most powerful people in the province.
Billionaire.
His name is Robert G. Miller, known simply as Bob to the women who say years ago he paid them for sex. At least one was as young as 14. And long before the Me Too movement, long before Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and Peter Nygard would all face criminal charges, there were whispers in Montreal about...
Do you hear those billionaire names? All of them get caught up in sexual assault. I'm the one who came and told you about some of these people. Remember, guys? I'm the one who come and tell you guys about Peter Nygard and all of these people. Remember the story? This man been out here sexual assaulting young girls way before them. And it's 2025 and still no charges. Although the charges are stayed, he's unfit to come to court. So you see how a billionaire drag out the court system and even accused of paying off, trying to pay their private investigator and never got charged for bribery. See how invisible and privileged these billionaire people are? Let's unpack.
About the secretive billionaire businessman.
You're there?
A team of journalists at the Radio-Canada program Enquête have spent months investigating those allegations, which he strenuously denies. In fact, a police investigation years ago ended without charges.
See, I told you.
How then to explain the women's stories and why there were so many young girls around Robert Miller?
Listen.
This is the Fifth Estate.
She saw things that she was sure were pornographic material. She said she's horrified at it.
Listen.
She wanted me to take a look at her husband with an investigation and surveillance and see what's going on.
Remember, Robert Miller, wife, was the one that blew the whistle almost. She's the one who hired the private investigation with his own money to follow him and say what's going on. And gave over those tapes. Let me back it up for you guys to know. I don't want to talk it out, but let's back it all the way up. Watch. Okay, listen. 1 second. I'm going to go all the way back, okay? I want you guys to hear for yourself.
You're probably the most honest one I can find.
It's 2006 in Vermont. Two private detectives from Montreal are meeting with a woman who lives in the city, but insists they meet south of the border.
Our meeting place was in Vermont,
which
surprised me. I said, why not Montreal? She says, well, I'm scared to go to Montreal because my ex-husband terrified of him.
Told you.
Their client tells them she suspects her ex-husband is involved in disturbing sexual activity.
Listen.
She saw things that she was sure were pornographic material.
Listen.
She said she's horrified at it. She wanted me to take a look at her husband with an investigation and surveillance and see what's going on.
John Westlake spent 3 decades with the Montreal police before becoming a private eye.
So imagine. So we're not going to drag it out. So women are whispering to the police. His ex-wife is getting a detective or a private investigator to go and investigate him because he's a pervert. And all of these things. So imagine that you have a wife and the wife suspect that you're being a pervert and end up blow the whistle on you. She didn't care about how billionaire you were. She didn't care what you had to say now. And all of that situation and scenario went down, guys. And yet still, the charges has stayed, but cannot come to court because he's unfit, has Parkinson's disease. But right now, they caught up with his friend. Okay, guys? So it's troubling and disturbing, but what can I say? So that was the content, people. I had to come and share that content and let you guys know, oh yeah, well, yeah, problem in paradise. Robert Miller, the billionaire, associate, friend, pimp, partner in crime, get caught up in this whole allegation and charge. So we're going to see how that play out anytime soon in court, anytime. So I'll let you guys know. All right, guys, let's move on. We want to talk about the missing. Virginia, 40, has been missing. Nobody knows where she is. Has seen from June 30th, 2025, and now we're in July. It's July 13th. So have you guys seen this black sister? Remember when black women and black boys allegedly go missing, we don't get any frontline news, nothing of that sort. So I'm using my platform to do my diligent work of report the missing. Have you seen this beautiful young lady? 40 still going on young, 40 and missing, 40 and black in the black community. More time don't have any media coverage. So do you see this young lady? Do you see this mom? Do you see this sister? Do you see this aunt? Do you see this beloved friend? We're looking for her. Please and thanks. Okay, guys? From there, we also want to talk about this. J. Emmanuel Thomas released on parole after serving just 10 months, a 4-year jail sentence. The big bad player. Imagine that. All of these footballers, all of these people are just going down in sexual assault charges from one end to the next. All right? Then we also want to talk about this one. Nigeria says it won't accept deportees from U.S. We have enough problems of our own. If every country can do U.S. and many other first world countries like that, then you won't have so much deportees in the country. So, you know, back in the days in Nigeria, if you come to a first world country, you do crime and the proceeding of crime you brought back to Nigeria, it was hard for you to get that stuff back. Now, the government of Nigeria says it won't accept deportees from U.S. We have enough problems of our own. Do you blame them? Do you blame them? Do you blame them? If Jamaica was doing the same, if many other countries was doing the same, you wouldn't have so much deportee mashing up the country. Okay? Although people belong to go back to their country where they're from. But if they do crime in America, and for example, say they went to America at 7, and they grow up in the dirt, in the system of doing all kind of things, should you send them back to Jamaica or Nigeria or any other country? Why should you send them back when you're the one who grow them and spoil them? You're the one who raised them and spoil them. So Nigeria government says no deportees from us. We're not accepting no deportees from US. You guys gotta keep them. You guys spoil them. You guys make them end up in crime. Please keep them, please, and thank you. They said to keep them, guys, so they can't bother, and he doesn't want them to come to Nigeria. And you cannot blame this man. All right? You cannot blame this man. From there, we're gonna jump here. Okay? Remember I came and I spoke to you guys and said that Rodman's daughter beat the announcer because the announcer had her name wrong. The announcer called her out, shout her out, and everything wrong, and although she's estranged from her dad. So she don't want to be involved, basically, okay? Former NYPD officially accused of giving promotion to friends and cronies. We had a situation like that here, where a sergeant ended up giving the friends and the information for the test, and end up lost her job. So we want to see how this one is going to play out in court anytime soon. Okay, guys? What else I have to... I believe that's all I have to tell you guys right now on that situation and stuff like that, okay? Moving on. All right? Moving on. Now, people, I want to talk about Cheese situation. Okay? We get to understand that Cheese got evicted not once, but twice now. Right? So we want to unpack for a bit. 1 second.
If you're ready for TV.
Look at this. Listen. No, go and listen. Listen. Listen.
No girl can't touch me, the girl touch that problem, eh? Alright, so that me now. What you gonna do? Why you leave me? Talk about it.
Listen. I'm gonna listen, because I'm gonna give my take on it, and I'm gonna jump off of the live like hopscotch, literally. Because we can't take people with no ambition and too careless at times. You're there. You're there.
Come and make a video for me.
You're a true shouldn't fight to man. So now Macy, you realize that you're a man. Oh, okay. You're there. What a disgrace. These people believe that they live in the garrison. What a piece of disgrace.
Oh, you reach now. Blandy, me not like how you stay because if you're going to do a photo shoot, you have to go to one different state because sell beer for do this photo shoot. If you're going to do anything at all, you have to go to one different state. Sell out your blood clot pussy. We do it. And as it done, you not sell out your whole and left not no by now. You sell out your whole and get the exact money. So as you don't do it, you broke again.
So when all Cheese a shout say Blondie a sell out her whole, Let Blondie feel like say Blondie is a woman. You hear what Macy said? True men a fight woman, but yet tell Macy have two big breasts in front of her and realize that she's a man. See how reality strike even in the midst of war? See how reality strike in the midst of war? See how reality strike in the midst of war? She realize that she's a man. So you know you're a man and you still take up yourself to go over there to fight Cheese or to embarrass Cheese. No, Cheese, we know you look a bit careless at times, eh? But we really cannot kick you while you're down. You had a situation where you were in England. You got deported or self-deportation. You left the children them behind. You went to Grenada. You went to a different place, Grenada, Barbados, wherever you went. You had another child. You left the child behind. You went to Jamaica. This little one was in Jamaica. You run away to America. You never brought the child with you. You're there America. You buy a car where you know you couldn't put in your name. You do body. You do breasts. You do all of these manner of evil. You didn't bring the child with you. You never sent for the child. The baby daddy, the so-called baby daddy that they claim beat you to scorn. Because remember, the black race and the Caribbean culture uphold domestic abuse, and it's fine. Because if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be supporting Chanel. And if that wasn't the case, you guys want to support most of these people out here who are fight with man and then I kiss up with man next and after in 2 minutes later. Like the Chanel situation. The baby daddy end up finding a woman, the woman help him and help that little boy to go to America. You made a whole big deal out of no deal that you want that child and you want to keep that child when you know you're going to look after that child. Can you see real mothers? They don't leave their children behind. Real mothers. Real mothers don't leave their children behind and out here every day in a cascas. No, they don't. So the four in England was left. The one in Grenada or wherever you went, the small island left. And then this one was left in Jamaica. When you went to America, you went by yourself. The child ended up come over. You made a big deal out of no deal that you want to be the mother to the child. When we hide, when we listen, you wanted to argue and fight that you want documents for the child because you wanted to go collect food stamp. Not knowing that woman would end up have to pay back all of that dividend of that free money and freeness that you collect. So obviously you don't want to work. When you went to America, you basically got gold spoon in your mouth because you end up coming to America, going to America and end up getting a job at the same time. A living job. And then you decide that you didn't want the job because most of you people who never worked before and don't work and don't like to work, not going to keep that job. It's not easy to go out there and clock in and clock out. It's not easy at all. It's not all easy to have that mindset. I'm going to work today and I'm not going to hang out with friends. It's not easy. That's why I don't want none of you guys come to chat up on the mouth about no work, boy, yeah, because half of you guys are not working. You understand? So at the end of the day, you decide that you didn't want the living job because you claim, you order, it's too far, you don't know anyone, nobody don't know you, and it's hard for you to find weed to smoke. So I say to myself, could all of those factors be important than a job? You decide to leave the job. You went out there, your butter, you say you sell bleaching cream. You go out there, your butter, them say you end up stealing oil. You go out there, go butter, them call ICE on you, them call immigration, them call police. You and Ivani go at it. Ivani said that you take a picture of her baby bottle and the baby diaper and the baby clothes. All kind of drama and manner of evil. They also allegedly said that your baby daddy was talking to a young girl and you stab up the young girl and then beat you and they had to buy medication for the young girl. Ascanta Don. Claiming that the little girl should be a young girl. Right? All of those nastiness, all of those carelessness. And then you end up with Blondie to help you to get an apartment. Why did you leave the shelter if you weren't sure that you don't really have a place over your head? Why are you making these people on the internet dictating your life? Don't you have a son to take care of? The same son where you cry that you want to be a mother to? So a mother usually finds the simple necessity, food and shelter for their child. So when are you going to get up and go and find a job? Uno claim so no have social and ID and all of this and no job. And every day you guys out here shouting dolly, 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 dolly with breast and body and sit there, you can't shelter under none of that. So the best place you should have stayed was the shelter and let the shelter help you find a place. The best place you could have stayed was the shelter and let the shelter find you a place. Because Blondie helped you find that apartment and Blondie co-signed for that apartment. And Blondie made the landlord put you out. Therefore, there's a lease still hanging. So if Blondie did put that place in her right name and it's not fraud, then therefore there's a lease remaining. You still owe the landlord the money, Blondie. So you're trying to tell me that Blondie would rent an apartment, knowing that there's more time in the lease, and throw you out and still would have to pay out that lease? Or you guys are let's come and black people that don't pay nothing, don't pay no credit, don't pay nothing, and just have bad credit all over and don't pay you guys bills. Is that so? Because I feel like everything dropped from sky. When you're ready, you rob the people them as Batman, but yet still the people them come out and say you have a son like that. So when you rub these people about Batman, how you think your son feel? Do you accept Batism or you don't accept Batism? Because you have a son like that, don't you? So these are the things what I'm talking about. So where your son live right now, the one that they claim that you can go there to go and stay with your son? It better you rent a room, give the child the room, you sleep on the floor and save your money till you could find a 1-bedroom. And then when you go in the 1-bedroom, you save again until you could find a 2-bedroom. The biggest mistake you ever made was to leave that living job. And the next biggest mistake you made was when you had a 2-bedroom when you never needed it. You never needed that 2-bedroom. So all of that extra money that you're paying for that room, you could have saved that money. And the next question I want to ask is, since there's 4 children all the way in England, how many child support you pay every month? Because we heard the hotter claps of how you're paying for the child papers to come and yeah, but you never had anything to feed him when he came. And if you were fighting the stepmother, your baby daddy woman, to go and get papers, to get food stamp, therefore you're not paying no child support to those children in England. So you're like a deadbeat mom, basically, almost. So me can't really stand people like who don't want to have no ambition, but I really can't kick you when you're done. And you're not my cup of tea, because I would never look at you for you to be an influencer or anybody, not at all. We're not ready yet. You understand? So what more are you going to do to that child? You can stand the embarrassment because obviously you're not used to nothing good. But what about the child? So why you never leave the child where the child is? All of this embarrassment. At least the child would have adequate roof over his head, food to eat, and stuff like that. You out here every day bickering with people all this time. And now what if the child friend them supposed to see all of that you're getting evicted and then 2 transgender ready to come and beat you? Oh, that look. They're going to maybe bother him and tease him about that. So all them things there. Kiss me teeth and pass. You look a bit careless. And I just believe at this point in time, when it comes to ambition, you're really lacking. Okay, some of you guys don't have no ambition, but every day you're not out here, dally and pretty and this and that. And so nice and this and that, and nobody not out here to help you guys. You're supposed to go to America and start a fresh start. Because obviously you can't go back to Jamaica, they claim. So why are you in America fighting with everyone and burning all of these bridges? And then for Big Back Blondie and for Macy, you know no man and no gone there now, almost ready to go beat somebody on top of eviction. You don't like to see people struggle and struggle only? You don't have to help with the struggle? You guys have to go right there to be the struggler? You don't have to go right there in the midst to help with the struggling? Oh, no, sad. Yo, that's what I'm telling a man. Yo, when Macy talk most of the time, I don't even fart and look. We don't even fart and look. Blondie is the next one. Those people sell out their nastiness, their back part, their rectum right online. And let those people you mess up with. And then you have the nerve to tell them that their penis is dropping out and their body will stink and all of these things. And these are the people that you've been dwelling with all this time. These are the people that you've been dwelling with this all this time to show me your company. I tell you who you are. And because you're deceitful, love bagga and carry on, these are the people that you hang out with and deal with. You can't ask favor from these people, cheese. These people are nobody to ask favor from. You understand? So kiss me teeth and pass. All right? So let's go to Leon Bailey.
Is it true? It is true. You know me rape you, right? Yeah. Is it true? It is true. So you don't feel a way about it? Why am I going to feel a way about it? Bro, these things are happening before me did on. So you don't feel like that's why you're not perform for the national team? Yeah, probably that's why I'm not perform the way I perform. Chippy, the girl must say you have a big dream, but you have little. I have to work with what I have. You see you go raw egg on the white egg. You sure she clean? I am very sure. Last question. Were you forced dead? I was. Me believe you. I'm a human, you know, bro. Like, me have feelings, you know, dog. Leon Bailey.
So you go bareback on a white person that you don't know. What if 6 months from now you pick up HIV or pick up AIDS? What would you have done? What would you have do? Say, you know, if you didn't know? Big baller like you, who leaving from 120,000 to 1 million tax free, and you out here having, you know what, with anyone, bareback. A lot of you, anyways, out here shout sex, 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 and not wrapping it up. Not having no safe sex on the out here, on the nastiness. Every day on the out here, bun body man, but on the one phone, the back part to be played with. So you don't make it for score big ball out here. You don't make it to donate to the Boys and Girls School. You don't make it to donate to the hospital or fix up the little kiddies hospital or Jubilee hospital or whatever hospital you guys have down there. You don't make it. You don't make it of keeping a treat for the kids them. You don't make it in the paper or having a little soccer camp in the summertime for the youth them while before they go back to school. You don't make it for have an ice cream truck and make all of the kids them lick an ice cream cone or have some kind of popsicle or something to eat. You don't make it. You make it into bodyism as a big baller. Shame on you. Politics watch they come and beat you in the past and say that you this and you that. You don't want to play for Jamaica, and you're this and you're that, and you're this and you're that, and you carry on. But if you never play for your country first, nobody will even see you. And remember, Saudi Arabia is a third world country as well as in Jamaica. The only difference is it's just rich economically wise. But other than that, it's still the same third world country. And remember, going to Saudi Arabia, the language barrier and all of these things. I remember in Saudi Arabia, the way how you carry on in Jamaica is not the way you could carry on in Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia have strict rules. Maybe if you talk too loud in public, they lock you up. Remember all of these things that they do in Saudi Arabia to even black people and to the black maids and all of these things that goes on in Saudi Arabia. So we're not knocking you saying not to go to Saudi Arabia, but why are you out here shaming, embarrassing your mom and your dad if you have one? And why are you embarrassing your team? And not only that, the girl what in your house should be a weirdo, because if it was me, I would have parked you right there and then child support, please. Seriously. And a lot of you black women don't have no respect. Look what this boy do and still they talk about. Me nah leave you. Even never. This nastiness, this toxic relationship. Go and cheat and still come home with your bareback self. This toxic relationship that Chanel and Annie and everybody that and Ivani, all of this want to spew on the internet that those things are a healthy relationship. I do not teach anybody nothing other than nastiness. I don't have no morals. So the athlete them can't save Jamaica. The artist them can't save Jamaica. The church and the pastor them cannot save Jamaica. And the prime minister them can't save Jamaica. And then what gonna save Jamaica? God? Almighty God, what half of you guys forget? So these are the things what I'm talking about. So right now, baller, you went Lou. You really went Lou. 27-year-old young boy running wild like a wild buck. Why are you out here doing all of that? You're an embarrassment. In a body, you want somebody to come and play up in your body. Next, you know, they soon start to use a brush, allegedly. And let me tell you something. That white girl knew that you were going to leave. And that's what most of these white folks are. I would say allegedly. They will wine you, dine you, drink with you, pretend that they love you. But as soon as you're ready to reach somewhere far in life and they're not going to get a piece of the pie, they will single you out and put you out there like what she did. So she maybe thought because now she realized now, oh shit, Leon is going to be leaving now. And I won't be sucking any more ballers, you know what? And y'all are busting at the woman's face and think that is cute. And everybody's like, oh, nothing wrong with that. It's just the back part. Oh, nothing wrong with that. It's just the back part. When since women are lie down and make man all piss and shit and all ejaculate on them. When since that's a norm. When since that is cute and girly. Those are a bunch of nastiness. The man now have no respect for you guys, and most of you women now have no respect because if you not out here lick up body, you don't have no respect. That's why you guys can't come to me to talk about no light skin and beauty and pretty and all of these, because most of you out here on a dog shit. Seriously. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? So nothing but you think so she could have out you out or out you, and then maybe that the contract would have been over. But it's already signed. And Saudi Arabia, more time, look what they do their women anyway. So they wouldn't care. So the way I see it, Baller, be careful. And Baller, go and check yourself 6 months from now because you don't know what you pick up. You can test yourself now, you don't have HIV or nothing like that, and 6 months later you pick up that shit. So you got to be mindful. Out your boy, yeah, do be about. Look at you. Look at you. What an embarrassment. And you think you're cute with it. Disgusting. You should have made it in the paper. Donating to the hospital. The hospital where your child or anybody gonna need anytime soon. You should have donate to the schools in Jamaica. Not because you could send your child to private school and all of that. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't donate. Remember? Jamaica is the one that put you on the map. So you should have go and donate. And all of these things. So the last time I checked. You understand? And what Foota Hypes came and said, you don't even remember your family. You don't remember your people, them. You don't remember nobody that you grew up with. You just rich and switch. So maybe God will have a beating to give you to make you go back to reality and realize that you're not invisible to the phone and invisible to be taken down and dragged down out here. Okay, guys? Anyways, guys, that's the whole content for today. I'll catch you guys another time. Okay? I'll catch you guys another time. And blessings and happy Sunday. Bye.